the dawn of 2024, Walt Disney's oldest rendition of Mickey Mouse, known as Steamboat Willie, hit public domain. And with this poor little 1920s rubber-hosed mouse being thrown at our mercy, a slew of horror-related content spread like wildfire across the internet. So what's my take on all of this? Well, I think instead of ruining people's childhoods, we should make cool and wholesome things about Steamboat Willie. Right? I mean, people are free to choose to do whatever they want with anything that lands in public domain. But as someone who hated Blood and Honey with a passion, I really am not looking forward to a horror movie about Willie, is all. Me personally would make different renditions and adventures about this little guy, all while abiding by the rules of public domain. I'd have him meet OCs, involve him in memes and parodies, and maybe even use him as a template to practice drawing rubber hose characters. The major problem with characters landing in public domain is that they end up in both good hands and bad hands. Normal people would do what I have recommended for myself, like I mentioned. And yes, I'm even willing to tolerate horror games because I'm a horror aficionado. Things go sideways when people make horror movies of these characters. Now, if the movies were well made, had a decent plot, likable characters, and at the very bare minimum, didn't have to twist the original story into nightmare fuel, instead coming up with its own story to match that universe. But look at what happened to Winnie the Pooh when he hit public domain. People massacred him. And the end result was perhaps the shittiest movie ever conceived with a horrible plot and characters who deserve to die. Don't get me wrong. My love for Disney in general has been in a downward spiral ever since my teen years. I feel as though the company cares more about quantity than quality and are only seeing dollar signs, hence why they pump out remakes instead of original stories like they used to do. What makes this sadder is that I actually used to want to work for Disney. I was always enamored with their older cartoons and movies because more thought and effort was clearly put into them. And for argument's sake, even when they transitioned from 2D to 3D, their movies were still pretty damn good. Chicken Little, Meet the Robinsons, Wall-E, Ratatouille, Up. What the hell happened to actual good 3D movies? Anyways, I just feel some strange protective instinct for Steamboat Willie. Maybe it's because I don't want people butchering him like they did with Winnie the Pooh, who, by the way, had a big impact on my childhood. Maybe it's my love for rubber hose in general, which was revived by games like Bendy and Cuphead. Maybe it's my stand on trying to protect the last shreds of innocence in this world. Maybe it's all of the above.